Hello to any new players, my name is Eddie, and I'm going to be making a very short but hopefully a really good video on all of the things that any new players would probably need to know about the new Ignite server. This is going to get you caught up very quickly, but in the end you will still have to do raids. You don't necessarily have to do daily things like Chaos Dungeons, stuff like that, but raiding is definitely the forefront of it all. So I'm just going to be going through the entire process right now, and I'll be able to show you guys what's going on. So right now, as you can see, currently I have 3 accounts since I've been playing with other friends. 2 of them are already at 1600, this one's about to be 1600 as well. This one right now is 1612, and I just did Voldus on this character. So, and all of this basically took me since about 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So, about 6 hours to pretty much do all of this. Now I am pretty experienced at the game. I know what I need to do. I know all the raids. But for you guys, it is definitely feasible to get to this point, even to where this character is right now. But as you start to get used to the game, I would definitely consider making some alts, because the raids are pretty fun. They do get kind of annoying sometimes due to, 7 other people being in the raid. But other than that though, pretty fun experience. Even just having a couple extra characters, you get so much more gold, and all of your gold is shared for right now. So if you do have one main character that you're going to end up transferring to a live server, you can definitely be funneling all of that gold to him just to get him as high as possible, right? So I'm actually going to make a new character just to do the whole process, and I will get right back with everyone after I make the character. Okay, so I've just made my character, and now I'm loading into Trixion after choosing my name. And this is where you're going to choose your spec, pretty much, for the class that you chose. And I did end up just making another artist, so it's just the easiest class to play, in my opinion, and I know how to do pretty much every fight with it, and there's very little setup for this class, and it'd be a lot easier to squeeze all of it into one video, so basically you'll talk to whatever the fuck her name is, I forgot. Talk to her, choose your class, and then after that you can try out your classes here as well. So if you chose a class but you don't really like a certain spec, you can try out another one, see how it goes, right? And then once you know what class you want, or spec, you just choose, I choose this Destiny, boom, and then it'll give you a bunch of gear. So here, talk to her. You can do Shift G to skip a lot of the dialogue. A lot of this early stuff's not really that important. It's just like early game story, but even if you do all of this content, it's still gonna put you in the end game zone right now. So there's really just no point. But it's totally up to you. And by the side content, you can skip this as well. By content, I mean the little story that you can do right now, or you can click that skip prologue and just skip everything, pretty much. It's not really. And you start adventure, and then boom. If my shit will load.
I see.
Load a little slow. I'm on my fucking hard drive.
This is one magnificent
Anywho,
statue.
now that we're here, I won't be going over this. I'm pretty sure this is just like a new main story questline for players to follow. So if you do want to follow that, you absolutely can. Otherwise, when you first load in, you can kind of check everything out. You do P for your character profile, I for your inventory, and then you can just open all of these. It's going to give you some mounts. And then all I'm doing is just right-clicking everything. You don't actually have to claim that, but you definitely can if you want, but otherwise you could save that. Put that right there. And then this selection chest is going to be your specific gear that you need. And so for supports or healers and whatnot, they're always going to go yearning. I'm not too sure about Paladin or anything, but you can actually go to a certain website. I'll be putting it in the description. But it is this website. It's called lostark.nexus, or you just search up Lost Ark Nexus on Google. This website's going to show up, and when you click on your class in specific, it's going to pull up a Google Doc of your class, and it's going to show you all of the necessary information pretty much. So some of these might be in tier 4, so you might not be able to see what you're looking for, but other than that, it's going to show you all of the correct skills that you should have equipped. It's going to show you these are the runes that we just right-clicked in our inventory. These are gems. The triangle ones are damage. Circle ones are cooldowns. These are your tripod effects, and I can actually show that real quick. And so in the Google Doc as well, how it says 2, 3, 1, it's always going to go blue, green, yellow. And this sequence of numbers is the exact same way it shows up in your skill tree. So I would choose the second blue skill, the third green skill, and the first yellow skill. And so I'm not going Wind Fury, but essentially I would just do that right there. And then, yeah, and you just see what skills you need, what gems you need as well, and then what ultimate you should probably be going. But again, these are all tier 4, so I think there is some way to see tier 3, I'm not too sure. But if you do find a way to see tier 3, I would definitely go check that out. But other than that, this website, super useful. It's going to show you everything that you need. But for right now, I would first start by looking at what gear set you need. Again, supports need yearning. DPS, typically for martial artists, you're going to go entropy. Other than that, the main ones that people use are either nightmare, hallucination, or salvation. Okay. So once you figure out which one you need, click this, do that, and then you just re-equip all of this gear that you just got. And then that stone's going to be useless in a second, actually. And then I would always try to keep a clean inventory, especially right now, since your inventory will get pretty hectic. So now that you've figured out what gear pieces you need, or which gear set you need, you can click on the Rising Express, which is the new thing of the Ignite server. Click that, click the style, and this is going to be the spec that you want to choose. And so let's say for Aeromancer, you can either choose Drizzle or Wind Fury, or for Deadeye, you could choose Pistolier or Empowered Weapon or whatever it's called. You would click it, and so for Artist, you're going to click Full Bloom because this one's actually useless. Save all presets, and all of the stuff provided in here actually comes from, I don't know if it comes from Lost Ark Nexus, but it very much replicates Lost Ark Nexus, so there should be very little that you actually have to change. But for me, since I already know what I actually will be changing, and this is just a preference, but for Artist, I actually do not like using Sprinkle, and I like using Starry Night. So let me get rid of that. Change Starry Night, and then you can come to this page by pressing K as well. do that. And then I know that mine is 111. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it should be 111. Yeah. And then let me just get another Gale Winder here. Boom. Just switch a couple of skills around, because again, I already know what I need. And that looks good to me. So yeah, pretty much see what skills might be different from what Lost Ark Nexus is saying. See what runes are different, and all of the runes are right over here. You can also type them in here if you want to look. Let me see if I need to replace any. I definitely do. Place that one. And then again, see what tripods you need, and tripods are these colorful, like additional skills, I guess, or like perks to your skill that you'll be choosing. And then once that's pretty much all set and good, if you want to, you can actually come back to your inventory, and if you want to stop the video real quick, as soon as I do this real quick, I would definitely stop the video, change it to look exactly like this, and then you can press go. And then we'll come back. And the only other thing we're going to do now is go to our card, or cards, I don't actually know where that is. The card catalog right here in the roster. Yours is not going to look like this. It won't look like this pretty much, but what you'll do is, depending on if you're DPS or support, DPS are going to be looking for the 3 card sets, and I'll actually make a little notepad. Deep Dive, Light of Salvation, and whatever the Kazaros's Legion Commanders. So this is in order of what card sets you'll most likely want to prioritize for DPS. So Deep Dive, and as you can see here, they actually give you a free 30 set of Deep Dive, which is very nice. And what a 30 set means is basically every time you enhance or upgrade a card in this little slot here, it is going to give you these tiny little crystals, and when you get to 5, that technically counts as like 5 total awaken. And in order to get your 30 piece, you need pretty much 6 awakened cards, all at level 5. You'll equip them, and then it'll give you the set boost, if that makes sense. So you won't have to worry too much about this right now. It's going to give you the correct one when you choose your style. So, but other than that though, I would definitely, so again, for DPS, it's going to be Deep Dive. It should auto equip it, so again, don't worry too much about that. And then for support, you will want, you have a plan, which it already gives you, and then the second one will be Lost Wind Cliff. And then I'm not actually too sure what the other one is for support, since I don't main support. But if someone does know it, you can probably just put in the comments. That'd be really helpful. But yeah, so if you want to make a little note about what card sets you're gonna need for whatever class you're playing, or like role you're playing, there you go. And then these are also your gems. I'm actually going to switch locations just because I do not like this place. In order to switch locations, you just press M to open the map, board the ocean liner, and I'm actually going to go here. So it's just, everything's kind of all in one place in this place, and I just prefer it. So give me 1 second to travel over real quick. Game will load, and then we're going to teleport all the way down over here. And if you ever want to backtrack out of a map, you just press right click. So like let's say I zoomed in on Vern Castle, but I want to go back, you just right click. So super easy. And then these are triports, and you should have all of them unlocked pretty much, but in order to teleport to them you just click. Another way is if you press tab and then you hold alt and then left click, you can teleport that way too. So alright. So now that we're here, it's just going to be a lot easier to do things. When you chose your style, it's actually going to replace you with all of your best gear. So don't, especially your accessories as well, so don't really worry too much about that. All of these, you can either put them in your inventory or in your bank, like I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to open up this chest right now, actually. And this is just how I organize my inventory. You can copy it if you like. I'd say it's pretty good management, in my opinion. And then I'll also talk about these a little bit later. So, but for right now, this is just getting your character set up. So right now we have the cards, our gear's all set up. We have the correct gear set as well. Our engravings are good. I'm actually going to change this. This is totally optional on supports, by the way. But most people do run vital point hit, or vital hit point, as most people say it. You can run max MP increase, but completely optional. And then the final thing to really, one of the final things to really get your character set up is just checking your gems, seeing if you need to change anything. For me, I'm going to change all of these sprinkle ones to Starry Night. And then we're good. So that's all I had to do for that. That's why I said I really like artists, because there's very little that I actually have to change. The final thing that you would have to do is on guide down below. Pets are super important, and when you press P to check your character sheet, there should be one combat stat that is extremely higher than like your other ones. This is going to be the stat that you should probably be focusing, and it'll also say it on your Lost Ark Nexus guide somewhere probably when you're looking at your build. It should be like it should say something like 1800 of your main stat and then 600 of your substat. So figure out which two those are, and then for your pet you can actually change the pet effect, and this is going to give you some additional stat of your main one. And so right now, just huge increase, and it's a crazy increase. And wherever you are on the map, as long as you're in a city, you can change that stat by going to the pet manager. It's literally just a little dog on the map, and then you just talk to him, change it, boom. It is roster as well, so if you do make another account, and let's say your main stat is like spec, but you only have one pet, and you end up changing it, that's going to change for like your other characters as well. So that should pretty much be it. We've covered gems, cards, engravings, gear set, accessories you don't really have to worry about right now. And then, yeah. So a little bit into honing and everything right now. If you do get extremely unlucky with your hones, I would recommend deleting your character and doing this entire process over. It might take a second, but it should be a lot quicker. The only reason I say this is because every single new character that you create is going to be the same as your first one. So every single person's going to get the same kind of gear, everything like that. So if you do get really, really shit honing upgrades, I would delete your character. I'm not even joking. So these early upgrades are going to be pretty difficult to hit, I won't lie. There are some things in the game currently that you can actually do, and if you don't want to delete your character, and this is going to be the event shop, and so they actually have, you're not really going to worry about the honor shards since you should have enough, but if you do, that's going to be here. your leap stones are going to be here, and then your stone pouches are also going to be here. So if you ever run out of any of these, I would always just recommend only buying 1 or maybe 2 at max off route, and then just try and hit your upgrade after that, pretty much. So I'm gonna see if I can get lucky here. Got lucky right there. I'm just gonna do a couple hones right now and just pretty much see if I get lucky at all. And then afterwards I'll cut back. I'll pause the video when I actually hit 1580, and that's when you actually get your new con gear, which is like the advanced tier 3 gear. So I'll worry about honing in a bit. This is the quality upgrade person, and so basically you want your weapon's going to be your main focus, and the higher the quality is, the higher the additional damage is. So I'm going to try and upgrade it right now. That's really good. It kind of sucks because it's going to be very difficult to try and get it to 100, but the closer you can get to 100, the better. So I'll try and do this real quick. No biggie, I'll worry about this later. You don't really have to spend... I probably should have said this first, but you don't really have to do this just yet because we're going to be getting a new set of gear, and that gear might actually be higher quality off route. So hopefully that will be the case in a bit. But other than that, you can do Alt Q to see all of the raids right now. Personally, what I would recommend doing right now is definitely hone, but hone as much as possible. When you do end up hitting 1580, as you can see, this is going to give you the Akan Ancient Gear, and it's just going to be the same process as the start of the video. You're just going to choose the exact same gear set, and so again, for support, it's going to be Yearning. When I get that gear chest, I'm going to choose Yearning, right? And then once you do actually get that gear, you'd come to this guy, you click Gear Transfer, and then you transfer that gear onto here. But again, I'll show that in a bit. The only other main big thing would be the Arkesia tour to talk about right now. This is going to give you a lot of stuff. It probably takes about an hour and a half if you're really quick with it. But the main thing are going to be the skill points. And the reason why these are so important is because, as you can see, you obviously want to get your skills up as much as possible, since more damage is good. And then for some of them as well, you can also unlock your tier 3 tripod, which is also very good. So I would definitely recommend doing the Arkesia tour. It's a very, very, very good thing to do. Other than that though, there's really not that much to talk about. So I'm going to hone, and I would recommend everyone else to hone right now as well. Get as high as you can. Again, if you don't hit 1580, what you can actually do, I forgot to mention this as well, you can go into the Guardian raid really quick, and again that's Alt Q to get to this. You can go into the raid level 1, queue up to Urnil, and have this check mark to collect the Guardian Will. And basically when you load in, there's going to be a little chest on the ground, press G on it, it's going to give you something called a flare on your number 4 key. You use the flare, it's basically like Monster Hunter if you've never done it before. And then you'll press your map, see where the boss is on the map, you'll go over to them, kill it really quick, and then after you kill him, he's going to drop this like shiny little orb. You'll pick that up, and then it's going to give you some event tokens that you can then spend on here if you need to. So that's there, and that's all for pretty much right now, and I will see you guys in a bit once I hit 1580. Forgot to mention as well, but as you keep upgrading, you're gonna unlock certain like milestones on the express thing, and then you'll just claim the loot. So just in case you just ran out of materials instantly and you didn't realize that you could get more, There you go. So, but this 1540 to 1560 milestone is definitely the hardest one to do. But if you're able to overcome it, I would say that you should be able to reach 1580 pretty easily. But again, it's all luck, and yeah, good luck. So, I'll catch you guys back shortly. I'm just about done here. Just need to hit this final upgrade. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm 1580. I'm gonna show you pretty much what's gonna be happening. I did get pretty lucky. I'm sorry if anyone did get unlucky. But right now I'm just gonna sort my inventory again, since these are the new materials, and do make note, because when you do go to the event shop and you do get these little pouches, there's 2 different kinds of materials that you can contain, or obtain. So just make sure you're choosing the correct one now. Because these are all old, but it's not too bad to keep them. I think they're roster as well. Oh no, they're bound to character in one. Anywho, so again, this is the new gear chest. This is the 1580 gear, and I'm going to be choosing Yearning. Do that real quick. Another really useful thing right now as well is if you press J on this guide, there should be a quest called what is gear conversion? What is gear set conversion? Okay, so if you do end up choosing the wrong gear set, you can do this quest really quick, and you'll just end up talking to this guy really quick. And in your or on your profile screen, by pressing P, on the bottom left, you'll be able to change either one piece of gear or all of your gear to whichever set that you actually need to be. So, super important thing to have. I would definitely recommend getting that just in case. But other than that, so right now I just got my new gear, and as you can see, the quality of some of them are either better or worse. What I am going to now is you're going to come to the honing guy, press G on him, and then now you're going to go to transfer. You're going to click on the new gear, and then you're going to transfer over all of this gear. And so because this new piece of gear that I just got, the 1580 gear, was lower quality than the one I just had before that I was upgrading, it's going to improve the quality, okay? And for right now, this is at a 12, but this is at a 62. So even if you do transfer this over, it's always going to prioritize the highest quality. So there you go. I'm just going to do that for every single piece of gear, and then we're good. So once you finish this, we're actually going to go back to that quality thing I was talking about, and make sure you do equip all of the correct new gear. And to check if you do have it all on, your eye level should be at 1585. So once you check that, you can actually just get rid of all this gear for free. Boom. So now, back to the quality guy. You should have gotten a lot more processed stones to use for upgrading. Do not like freak out about wasting these or like anything like that. Use all of them. They are character bound. So yeah, literally use them, get the highest quality that you could possibly get. I'm gonna go AFK real quick and do this really quick, just because it's probably gonna take a minute, and I will see you guys all shortly. Another thing too that I forgot to mention, I just hit this, by the way. This is kind of unlucky, but it's really good nonetheless. Never spend your gold on this, okay? Never, ever, 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 ever spend your gold on this. It is a waste of gold, and it is not worth it. So, yeah. Another thing too is the way I like to do my quality upgrades is by doing the lowest quality first, just because it has the highest upgrade percent. Because even this, like 57 is a 7.43, but the 58 is a 6.8. So it's literally like a 1% difference, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. Basically got all my stuff to blue. Purple weapon's pretty good as well. I do have some left over, but gear's not really like the biggest make or break it. The weapon's definitely the biggest thing, so now that you're done with that, you can either try and hone some more, because we do get a free 2,000 gold, and you should actually be able to hit the next I'm just gonna apply this real quick. You won't have this title yet, but I would recommend actually upgrading once, because it's a 40%. So if you do end up filling the 40%, like I might, it is what it is. It's pretty fucking unlucky, but you know, someone's got to fill the 40%, like us or like me right now. Oh, please don't do this to me, bro. Alright, well, that's that. So now, in order to get more gold, you can do Una's tasks, which are in Adventure down below to the right, and you click Una task. So you have daily and then you have weekly. For the daily ones, I would personally recommend, I don't know if they have them. Okay, they don't. On live servers, there's a certain group of them that you can do that are just super quick and easy. On here, I don't know which ones the best ones are going to be, so you kind of just have to pick and choose. They also give like additional rewards, so if you're looking for something like specific, so like maybe a stone, honor shards, whatever, you can do that one. But while you do them, you gain these reputation points, and as you keep gaining points, you get these coins, and then these coins can be turned in at any city to this guy right over here. There you go. Yeah. And then these are the old tokens, so if you do have any of these old ones from the live server, you can just transfer them over, I guess. But yeah, so this is how you can get gold this way. Other than that, the main thing is going to be raiding. I would personally recommend raiding from the bottom of my heart, okay? This is like the core thing of Lost Ark to do, okay? This game's not like Final Fantasy XIV and stuff like that, where it kind of is in a way, but it's not as impactful, I feel like, towards people who really want to just do that casual lifestyle. It's not as good as 14. And I feel like raiding's just more of a prominent thing in this game, so. You can do the solo raids, if you're new and you're kind of scared and you don't really want to go in. I would totally recommend doing the solo modes of any of them. Even if you just want to learn a fight, totally recommend it. Solo modes do give you very, very, very little gold. Like, they give you probably like 2/10 of how much gold you'd actually be able to make if you did it with a normal group. So, personally, I would definitely look up a guide. Brelshaws is one of the easiest fights in the game, in my opinion. Probably after Volton. So, there is a guy on YouTube. Let me see if I can actually find him real quick. His name is Deathboy. The guy's been making great YouTube guides on updated guides as well on Lost Ark. So let me see if I can find him. Yeah, so this is a guy, Deathboy, Lost Ark. He's got huge updated guides on all of the current fights that are out right now, even Kaingel. He's also got solo raid guides as well, so he's a great guy. I would definitely recommend watching his guides, and all of the strats that he uses are current PF strats, so totally give him a try, check him out. a very, very good guy. Yeah. So my typical routine would be doing Belshazzar, a con, and then I'd hop on over to the Abyssal Dungeons, and then I would do Kaingel. Kaingel's not that bad either, so if I would personally probably recommend doing Kaingel first. It's a very short. The fights are, yeah. You only need 4 people, so it's not a lot of people that you have to be worried about. The mechs are extremely easy as well to learn. Gate 3 might pose a little bit of difficulty, but again, my boy Deathboy's got you all covered. So, yeah, I would probably recommend starting off on Kaingel. There's no parties up. It is currently 1:30 in the morning, so it is what it is. But see if any groups are up. Not really. That's totally fine. So if servers are up, please don't join a reclear party, especially if you haven't even seen anything on the fight. Please don't join a reclear party. This is what a reclear party is going to be named. Another name that people probably do is something like this. Please don't join a party that says 1-3 homework. This stands for homework. Please don't join that group. This is not a learning party, okay? If it is a learning party, it will be very much so defined or stated as a learning party. So, please. But other than that, your typical routine, your raids are always going to be weekly. But other than that, your typical routine's most likely going to be doing Chaos Dungeons. You can get some new loot as well. I have no idea what's going on with Chaos Dungeons. I haven't done them like in a year, so you can also do your Guardian raids as well. So it's completely up to you. But yeah, hopefully this does help everyone. I've pretty much kind of covered everything that you would need. If you do have any other questions, just post them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. Hopefully other people in the comments can also answer them. But yeah. And then another thing too is when you do end up getting to 1600 and all that good stuff, these rewards are going to be what we'll be getting once the Ignite server is finished. So hopefully everyone can reach 1620 pretty easily. You're going to be getting 200k, and this is going to be in bound gold. So the total amount you'll be getting is 33... No, it's 305k. So, but yeah, other than that, hopefully this guide helped. I really want more people to start playing. I know this game kind of sucks absolute dick, and it's a very unfun process to try and have to do all of the raids again, do all this shit again, but they made it pretty easy to get 1580 right now, so you can at least do some of these harder raids. And they've also made it pretty easy to actually hit 1600 now, so I would definitely try and give the game a chance again. I know they're working hard, so, and I would definitely stay around for tier 4 as well. So, yeah. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day, and maybe I'll see you on the Ark.